Hello, and welcome to Wine with Weeda, the podcast that is dedicated to engaging with health professionals and caregivers in meaningful discussions. I'm your host, Rita Shamoon, or as my clients call me, Weeda. I'm a pediatric speech pathologist, and I am so excited to have you here. Each week, we deep dive into connecting you with caregivers and healthcare professionals, sharing their insights, stories, and key takeaways to help you with your child's diagnosis and your journey. Whether you are a parent, healthcare professional, a lifetime learner, or simply a wine enthusiast, you're in the right place. So let's sit back and relax and enjoy today's episode. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Wine with Weeda. Today, I'm thrilled to chat with Julie Sampson, or if you might know her as Jules, the powerhouse behind Freedom Fitness New South Wales, right here in Liverpool, Sydney, 2170. I've been a part of the Freedom I've been a part of Freedom Fitness myself, and I have to say it's so much more than a gym. It's a supportive community where women come to feel strong, confident, and empowered, both physically and mentally. Jules has created the Freedom Effect, a journey of inspiration, empowerment, transformation, and freedom. What stands out is how intentional Jules is, from tailored programs to a welcoming environment for women of all life stages, especially those navigating perimenopause and menopause. She is also a devoted mum to two remarkable children, including her son, who was diagnosed with autism. This personal journey deeply shapes her passion for inclusion and, most importantly, well-being. Jules, I am so excited to finally bring you on Wine with Weeda. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I know it's hard with our busy mum schedules and work schedules to get together, so I'm really pleased that we found the time finally. So thank you for having me on.
You're so welcome. I am a believer of alignment, and I joined Freedom Fitness at a time where my life is quite manic. My husband works interstate, and I wanted to find somewhere that had the suitable hours for me and my busy work life. And my gorgeous neighbor Anna, shout out to Anna, she
Anna, she's
inspired me
amazing.
to join her. She's a beautiful human, and I really believe it takes a village. And when you have that person with no expectations, just honestly gives you that unconditional support, you can achieve anything. And that just takes the pressure off, even just going to the gym, I would say. So, yes, let's now talk about you, Jules. Tell the audience about yourself, and then we'll dig into some more questions after that.
Sure. So I was actually a dancer when I was younger, and I always loved dancing. And and I got to about maybe the age of 25, and I was trying to find a fitness center that would align with my values, and actually found one, and it was in Liverpool, so Chipping Norton at the time, and it was a dance-based class, and I was like, these exist for adults and no one cares how you move as long as you move. And I was part of troop when I was younger, so everything was really competitive. Yeah, so that really put me off as a child. Although I have got a competitive nature, there's one part of me. There's also a part of me that wanted to feel like I belonged to something and wanted to belong to some type of community. So when I found this, at the time it was called Fusion Fitness. I found a couple, some instructors on these stage that just lit the stage up by just smiling and having fun, and all these people just moving together in the same direction. And it can be messy, it can be fantastic, but no matter what, it was just so inspiring. And from my first class, I was hooked. I was like, this is the best thing ever. So I started that as a 25, 26-year old, and within a year or so, I got asked to become an instructor. So that was,
Oh.
yeah, so that was a good 20 years ago now.
I love
And
how you use those adjectives, fun and messy, because
yes,
sometimes we have to be childlike to find joy, as what I do with speech pathology, but we forget
absolutely.
how to be children as
Yeah.
adults. And I love those words, fun and messy. And when you create joy in something, you continue it all the time. And that's what I feel freedom fitness does. It takes the expectations off and you just have fun.
That's right. And there's no feeling of being judged. So
Yeah.
there's no kind of, oh, well, and I have a lot of members that come up to me and say, I can't do this. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
can't do it yet.
Yeah.
You might get to it, but just be okay that you might not either. And that's okay because you're
Mm.
actually here and you're moving, and that's the most important thing. Um, and I think it's funny too, because with my son, when I started speech therapy, I was thinking they're just going to do flashcards. And I was like, because that's
No.
what people think of, right? And when it's got down to play based, and we had an amazing speechy, she actually moved to Melbourne a few months after starting with her. But everything I learned from her, and he was at the time 3, so I was attending the sessions with him, I still use today, and I actually still use in my classes. And it's that
Tell
connection side
me.
of things. So, ma- ensuring it's play based and
Yeah.
connecting and making sure it's not just me telling you things. I want to bring
Mm.
you into my world. I want that world to be yours as well, right? So, the whole idea is, how do you feel connected? It's eye contact, it's smiles, it's asking open ended questions to create discussion in the class. I don't know about your 5:45 a.m. classes, if they have a lot of discussion because you're barely awake, but my I tend
But
to
there's eye contact.
yeah, there is eye contact. That's good. That's safe. But I use what I've learned in speech therapies and occupational therapy. I use it in my class. Yeah, yeah. So I just feel, I
And
don't
I
know
love
about,
how you've mentioned the
go ahead.
yeah, you're pretty much really going back down to the concept of fostering connection.
Mm,
And when you have that connection, you build relationships. And when you build relationships, you build trust, you build community. And
yes,
that's where people have a sense of belonging to be their authentic self,
yes,
which is
exactly.
so important. Yeah, which I
Yes.
believe freedom. And I've been living in the 2170 for nearly 15 years now, and
Mhm,
I've been around to different exercise facilities, and
mhm.
that you put on a mask, right? When you're in different places because you just know how you're gonna be perceived. But
Absolutely, and
being
it's
being
exhausting.
able to be my authentic self at freedom just
Mhm.
takes that layer of pressure so I can focus on returning to myself.
Yes, and
Mm,
our look, we're results driven in some ways, and I think the
mm.
results for us is, for me, it's when a customer comes up to me or a member comes up to me and says, "You've changed my life." Like, I
Oh,
moved into this area and I had no friends, and moving in, particularly in your 50s and 60s, um,
that's frightening.
that's frightening. So they've moved into the area and they
Mm,
said, one of them actually came, her name's Nicole. She came and she got a pamphlet in the mail, which I don't do a lot of mail drops, to be honest, but
mm.
we had a go at it, and she used it, and she rang me, and 2 years later she's someone that comes every day. And
Wow.
yeah, and she says, you don't understand how much you've changed my life. I moved to an area I didn't know anybody. I now have friends after class every day. I look forward to it. I love to move. I love that you've changed. Like, I'm stronger than I ever have been in my entire life. This is someone in their 60s. And
Mm,
I get to have a coffee with my girlfriends after class. And I get to do
that's
that
the
every
best
day.
part.
Yeah. And she's got a choice to come or not, right? I don't make her
Yeah,
come. She's doing that. She's making that choice because it's making her feel great. It's making her feel
yeah.
like she belongs, and it's making her feel like she's part of this community.
And just to add with that, just the unspoken emotions that you are addressing as well speaks volumes for someone who might have challenges communicating their own needs. But that in itself just ticks all the boxes for wellness. And this is what I want to talk to you about, particularly
Mhm.
today, the idea of wellness, especially for mothers or women within the mid 30s and up, which is where Freedom Fitness focuses on a lot. What inspired you to start Freedom Fitness specifically for those in the women in that age gap bracket? Sorry.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm going to tell you the truth. I when I
Mm.
opened, I did not have an avatar. I had no idea who I was
Ah,
advertising to. I advertised to everyone. I'm like, doesn't everyone like dance fitness? Doesn't everyone like group fitness? Isn't this just the way things are done here? No.
yeah.
It took me
Mm,
about 2 years to figure that out. And I actually worked with a company which I'll plug quickly. They're called Com Marketing, and they
mhm.
actually specifically focus on fitness and gyms. Um, and I kind of had to unpack everything about freedom. And I love how you said it's unspoken, but these things are already bubbling and working in the community. It's just that I couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
And once I was able to kind of bring it in and say, and work with my instructor team on what is it that we do and who are we focused on, that's when
Mm,
we kind of hit it and
yeah.
we picked our lane. So picking the lane around what's the demographic around our area? It's, women with children, it's grandmothers as well. We turned our focus purely to women as well. Only and what that's been great for is that we've been able to hit some cultures where they can attend class
Yeah.
because there's no
Excellent.
males
Mm,
there. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and I think that's important. I actually know someone that's opened an all male gym, and they deserve it just as much
Oh,
as the women. Yeah, yeah. So
interesting.
an all-female gym, an all-female fitness center, is what we ended up focusing on. It literally was, let's just open and we'll do some dance fitness and we'll do some strength training and let's just see how we go. But then we actually started to really work on it, and com marketing helped me with that. We were able to find our avatar and we were able to find what our purpose is, which is what we call
Mm.
the freedom effect.
You
When
found
we
your niche.
Yeah, we found our niche, and also
You found your
I'm
niche.
in that niche, and all
Yeah.
my instructors
Hello.
too. Yes, so we're either perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause. So
Mm,
when you're able to go, hey, we're all in the same boat here. This is how we're feeling right now. It was easier for us to be able to promote it and build our community and on a stronger level because we identified it.
yeah.
So that
And all
really
the
got it.
customers or all the members are share similar lived experiences.
Mm.
So with no disrespect to someone much younger than me that doesn't have children, we're not aligned because we're on different stages, right? Like
Yeah.
of a 22-year-old, for example.
Yes.
But when you're around that community with the same lived experience, similar to Wine with Weeda, when you
Mhm.
have parents on the same boat of special needs kids, you speak the same language. You
You
speak
do.
the same expectation. Actually, there's no expectations, but you just understand each other
You
without
do.
even talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's um, a, a lot of my customers too, a lot of my members too. I can't give them the answers, but I can be there for them, and my instructors are the same, and member to member as well. Is sometimes you just need someone to listen and
Yeah.
someone that understands and acknowledges it, and we can't fix it for you, but we'll support you for
Mm,
whatever we can do for each other. We're there for each other, and it's really strange that we're talking about it because it's something that evolved, and at the same time it wasn't planned. It was
yeah.
kind of like, this is how it works, and then we did become a little bit more strategic around how we obviously market and promote it.
Mhm.
But the community stuff around how we build the community was kind of already there. And I'll give you a really good example of that is that we were across 4 locations, schools and community halls.
Yeah.
And community isn't set up by a studio that's got 4 walls and pretty paint and the best in the, kind of newest of equipment and the shiniest of weights and all the equipment that you need. That's not actually why people come to my classes or to my business.
Mm,
It's great being in one location. It's very convenient for the instructors. We plug and
mm,
play. It's great to promote it as one place now, and I think it's much easier for our members. But um, what I found was that community already existed, and it doesn't matter where we are because it's about each other. It's not about the
yeah,
shiny equipment. Um, and that's one of the things that I've kind of realized over the last 12 months as well,
yeah.
is that
I
our
appreciate how you've said it's not about the shiny equipment
it's not.
because it's about, more importantly here, Jules, one thing I've realized with freedom, you're really tapping into female health.
Yes.
In the world that's telling you to lift and deadlift
Oh,
many
yes,
kilos,
yes,
I actually start to question, is that good for our hormone health? And
yes,
why I love being around you and the community, it's about not peaking that cortisol level, but respecting what us as women do. And really, and I said this to you not long ago, being in our feminine. And I actually said this to Anna when we left the
yes,
session today.
yes,
Freedom really supports women holistically, making them stronger, better, but also letting them be in their feminine a lot, which I
absolutely.
take a lot of credit, a lot credit to you. Thank you so much for bringing that back. In a world of masculinity, it's so
Yes.
nice to return to what we were actually born to do and be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like to say skinny, not strong, but that no
Mm,
disrespect to anyone that is skinny, but we very much focus on that strength component and
mm,
strength in terms of lifting a little heavier than you probably like. So we say put the pretty pink weights down and we want you to lift a
yeah,
little heavier, right? It's great for
yeah.
you from in terms of bone health and muscle contraction, which we need to keep doing for lifelong health and getting up and down off the ground. We do that a
Mm,
lot, and it's we I do get some filthy looks like, really, are we getting up again? And it's like, yep, we're
mm,
going to do this forever, ever, ever. So what we're after is strength, mobility. So always moving, and then finally, it's that obviously we've got community, but it's the mind and the body connection. So
yeah.
I don't know about you, but my mind can be here and my body can be here, particularly with, getting kids to therapies, extracurricular activities, getting them to school, um, having a job, running a fitness center. So, what we're trying to do is just go, hang on. All right,
Mm,
let's just have a breath here and let's just create my space right now.
yeah,
And that
yeah,
space is for me to breathe, take a, like, give me a minute, right? Give me a
yeah,
minute and move so that my mind and body align.
yeah,
And when that happens and when it continues to be habitual, you will see the benefits, and you'll see the
yeah.
benefits really quick, and then you'll see some over a longer term period. Some of them can be, oh, I can kind of get up these stairs now without holding the banister. Yeah, you can.
Mm,
My blood pressure has gone down. My doctor can't believe it. My bone strength, my bone health is amazing. My doctor can't believe it. My doctor said there's no way that exercise could have done this.
yeah,
Yeah, it can.
yeah,
So we're
yeah.
always fighting. We're always fighting the
I love that. You're
yeah,
arguing
we're
against the
fighting the
doctors.
health
I love that.
industry. Actually, I'm a member of Oz Active as well, and they did a huge collab last week with the federal government, particularly around the budget. So
Mm,
less spending on health management and more spending on health prevention. So
yeah,
prevention is what we're after here, and that means moving. And maybe there's a way in which our federal government can support us financially in terms of gym
mm,
memberships or mental
mm,
health programs. So really loved that they did that last week as well. So
yeah,
the
and
budget's so huge for Medicare. What about putting it into prevention?
yeah.
You know,
And then imagine how much our healthcare system would benefit once we actually get to the root cause of the problem. You
Yeah,
mentioned like the doctor was so
which is the
shocked about the
mobility.
blood pressure.
Yeah.
It's more than just exercise. It's about supporting understand that exercise supports the mental health. And when you
Yes.
support the mental health, you support emotional well-being. And then
Yeah.
look at that. Wow, mental health rates are dropping because we've tapped into other areas families can get supported. So I'm a big believer in understanding the root of the problem and addressing it
For
holistically
sure.
rather than waiting till, a person has a high blood pressure and they're really unwell.
Yes. And I think as
Mm.
well is when you're bringing a new member on, I think when I spoke to
Mm.
you, Rita, you're in the middle of a swimming lesson with your children.
Yes,
And
I was.
I was like asking you all these questions, and you're like, but I'm in swimming. I mean, do you really need to know all this stuff? You weren't
Yeah.
saying it, but I could feel it, right? Because
Mm.
there was noise around, and it was like, no, 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 I want to know more about you so that we can target and understand exactly what you need so that we can go, no, actually, our offering will meet that. And we're
Mm.
going to come here and you're going to get your results. You're going to
Yeah.
feel great. And
It's not
breathing,
even the I don't even see it as a gym, Jules. It's the
no,
appointment for myself. It's my the appointment for
yes.
me to return to me. And I love to say that on the podcast because I actually even had a chat with a mum yesterday who's just had her third child, has a special needs kid, and she's
Mhm,
gained a bit of weight post pregnancy.
mhm.
And she said, I just want to lose the 30 kilos. I said, it's not about the number.
Yeah,
It's about the wellness you feel. You could have even gained 30 kilos, but be much stronger, be happier.
absolutely,
It's a
absolutely.
redefining what exercise means to you. And
Yes.
that's what I've really, as I'm about to embark my 40th birthday this year,
Woohoo!
making an appointment for myself. Yeah. And that's why I'm very gracious for Anna and for you for having that for me as my little joy with a coffee and cookie after.
Oh, that's great. It's so good there, Palette Cafe.
That's so
We love
good.
them.
It's so good. Now tell
So
us about freedom effect. What's
yes.
that? This is the first time I've heard of it. What is that?
So, it's on our wall when you walk in, actually. So
I don't know. Like,
it's the
you can tell.
feeling that
Oh,
you
that's
have.
right. There's no eye contact at 4:45.
That's right.
5:45,
You're
sorry.
not reading anything. So, the thing is, the freedom effect we've probably been talking about for the last 20 minutes anyway. So
Yeah.
it's that feeling that you get around, and I think you just said it, which is you're making an appointment for yourself, right? So you're feeling
Mm.
that freedom for a moment. So there's four parts to it, and the first one is inspire. So we want you to kind of prioritize yourself. And like, can I ask you, how long did it take Anna to talk you into coming? Did it take a while?
I think it took about say 4 or 5 months.
Yes. And that,
And I got to admit that words that Anna kept using, you will love it. I can
yes,
just see it's your vibe.
yeah,
You will
yeah,
feel comfortable. And I honestly thought, oh, women's gym, 35-year-old, is that what I
yeah.
really want? Because I was conditioned with the shiny new equipment is the place for wellness. Yeah.
And
And I was
sometimes
on
it
my
is for some
walks,
people.
but
Yeah,
it wasn't
sometimes
for
it is.
me. It
Mhm.
wasn't for me. It
Yeah,
wasn't for me. And
yeah,
Anna, again, I keep referring to Anna because she's my little guinea pig. She would say, "Oh, my arms just feel better, and my work at Happy Feet, I have more endurance." And being
yes,
a speechy, I need endurance in my job,
you
right?
do.
To be
Absolutely.
on all the time.
For
And I thought,
sure.
okay, well, if Anna, we share the same role in terms of pediatric happy interactions. I thought,
Hmm.
okay, she's having better. You know what? Just give it a crack. And Anna was at swimming that day. She said, just do it, just do it. I was like, okay, let me just do it. And I loved the step class, and then
Oh,
I loved the
that's so good.
uplift.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, I get to do Zumba too. And so just it was so nice to do things that didn't feel like Groundhog Day.
Yes. Yes.
And it was
But
just beautiful to have a different vibe.
you
Mm.
also had to make that decision to prioritize yourself,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Mm.
really hard because I hear, and I shouldn't say every excuse, but I hear every reason. And I hear it, and I've
Mm.
used these reasons myself, which is, oh, one of them is I'm not fit enough to start. It's like, what?
Mm.
That's what we're here for, right? One of them
Mm.
is, I've got too many things to do. And it's like, do you want to feel better? because
Mm.
doing what you're doing now is not making you feel better, right? So I do hear that, and it's a it takes a certain level of bravery to walk into a
Mm.
community that's already established as well.
Yeah.
So we needed to like make walking in really comfortable. And you were lucky because you actually had someone to walk in with
I
you.
had
And
someone. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and we find that those members are really sticky because it's a referral. Um, and sometimes it can take 5 6 months for someone to say, "Hey, come on, keep trying, come on."
Mm.
Um, and then sometimes someone will come straight away. But in any case, that feeling that Anna's got can't be transferred into your brain because you've got to experience it, right?
Yeah.
So you hear her say it over and over again, but it's what you will feel when you come in and when you leave.
Mm.
Um, and the next one's empower, and we talk about empowerment as giving yourself permission to be part of the group fitness classes. So it's not about me giving you that permission because I'm going to run these classes no matter what,
Yeah.
right? So it's actually you going, no, I'm going to empower myself here. I feel inspired now to walk through the door, but now I'm going to empower because I'm going to start to think about what results do I want out of this. And you can have hard results like weight loss, right? Or you can have hard results like I want to be stronger, I want to be able to lift, or I want to feel better. And they're really great. But what we want is habitual movement. We want you to keep
Mm.
moving so that as you age and get older, and especially as your hormones change, that you can adapt your workouts to reflect what's best for your mind and body. The third one is transform, which I've just touched upon. And the transformation for us is to make sure that you move more freely and that you've got that mind and body connection, which I spoke about a little earlier, and that you're strong. And
Mm.
then the last one is the feeling of belonging. So that's that freedom effect, which is that feeling of freedom. So the belonging, the connection, the mind body connection as well. Um, People, when they connect with others, it makes the biggest difference. And I don't know about you, but I love music. Great.
Yeah.
So music, and you'll notice when a person goes to the gym now, they'll wear um, AirPods and they'll
It's
listen to
so
music,
isolating.
but it also isolates them. So if you're
Yeah.
playing music to the whole group and you're moving in time to pre-choreograph, safely choreographed routines, what a difference that makes to you, because what music does is it has that beautiful neurological effect. It releases the dopamine. It gives you great memories. Oh, I remember this
Yeah.
song, or I love that tune. And, when you're sitting in the car and you're doing the moves in the car later on, because you've been doing that
Yeah.
for the last 6 weeks, you're like, oh, Charlene does this one. Um,
I always hear
that,
the Ed Sheeran song lately. I'm like, that's Charlene's uplift
that's,
lesson.
yes, yes. So
I hear it.
they're just really, music has this brilliant effect on people, and that's why our classes are always based on movement to music.
Yeah,
And those
yeah.
music selections for us, some of them we pay a license for, so some like our active classes and our fight class, and
Mm.
we have a license for, and then we have some where I am certified, so I can come up with my own, and we can play top 40 music, and it's so much fun because you're like, oh, I heard that one on the radio, let's do this one, yay. um,
Yay.
so it's that freedom effect, and what happens is once you feel that effect, it kind of just keeps going around and around because your your aim and your goals will keep changing as you age as well. So
Mm.
it's like, okay, well, I can lift that, but as I get older, it might be a little harder to lift. So what am I going to do right now to ensure that what I lift now, I can still lift in 10 years time, in 20
Yeah.
years time? Yeah.
It's
And
also
then,
thinking about the we always when we work when I work with pediatrics, I tell my patients we are creating an adult. So the behaviors that you form now, if you're feeding them a specific food, we're not managing that. We are then creating an adult through these behaviors.
Yes.
We're so focused on our kids and ensuring we raise them to be wonderful humans, but we forget ourselves. And I love how you said, can I lift that in 10 years time? Because we
Yes.
forget that we're aging and we do need
Yes.
that support when we're much older.
Yes, and we want to keep we want to prevent our really nasty falls. As
Yeah.
you know, that's probably the number one reason why particularly elderly can't
Mm.
stay in their homes where they feel like they belong.
Mm.
Right, that's where we want to stay as long as you can, and
Yeah.
the idea is that we continue to focus on that, and you can, we want you to stay home and with your family as long as you can in life.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We've mentioned Charlene and Nat quite a
Yes.
few times on this podcast now. For anyone listening, Freedom Fitness has a remarkable instructors. I'm at the 5:45 class, so I'm graced
You
with
didn't see Jules a
Charlene,
lot,
Nat, and Ash. I never see you, Jules.
I'll be there when Charlene goes on leave, so you'll see me a couple of times a week.
Oh,
But when
okay,
she comes
beautiful.
back,
Uh,
I'm just going to murder her.
okay. I'll bring you coffee. Now, your instructors, Jules, they play
Yeah,
such a key role in the meaningful experience. What
yeah,
do you look for in a team and how do you coach them to connect authentically with the members?
yeah. So that's a really good question. So I've actually had the same instructor team since I opened.
Wow, that
They
says a lot
don't.
about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we did when we came up with the Freedom Fitness concept, we're actually called Freedom Dance Fitness to begin with. But then we found that we were more than dance. But we actually met as a team and we had to do it virtually because it was right in the thick of COVID. So
COVID. Mm.
we had a lockdown and then I opened and then we had another lockdown.
Yeah, that's a lot,
So
Jules.
yeah, so opening fresh and new, and for some reason, opening in the middle of winter is what you do. And but all these people came, and they came because we'd already had relationships with them from previous gyms. But my
Yeah,
instructors were also they were part of the strategy. They were part of the plan. And that was really important to me that we understood and we set our values, we set our mission and our purpose, and that we continue to review it. And again, it's not something that we go, okay, remember this is our purpose, because it does change, and it has changed as we decided to pick our lane. It changed, and we decided to come up with the freedom effect so we could actually kind of define ourselves more. And
mhm,
the freedom effect was also something that we've reviewed a couple of times, and I've included the instructors as part of that as well. They lead their class, but they're also leaders of my business, and I entrust them to do that. I entrust them to run safe and effective classes, and they do that at this standard that is so high. They
you
take,
can tell.
they take such pride in what they do. Once a year, we go through a review process one on one, which is let's look at your classes. Um, let's see what you're doing in classes to ensure that the freedom effect is spoken about, that we're talking about it all the time. And just from a, also just a technical side of things, we always continue to develop ourselves and educate
Yeah.
ourselves, not just on movement, but also on, menopause, perimenopause. The education around women in particular is super important.
Mm,
So
mm,
rather than me telling them things, I bring them in, and we come in for the, journey together. And
yeah.
our WhatsApp group as well is just always, this member came in and said this, just be aware of this, blah, blah, blah. So we're always just got each other's back, and we've all the
Mm.
members' backs as well.
I'm loving that you always come back to your core value.
Mhm.
and you always return back. Now, as a business owner, you sometimes you see other businesses just get off the bandwagon and be quite financially driven, getting more
Yes.
customers. So there's that financial element. But what I'm hearing, and it's so refreshing to hear as a customer and as a business owner, you come back to your why, the
Yes.
freedom effect.
Always
And
the
that, as a
yeah.
consumer,
Yep.
makes the world of difference. And you can feel it through your instructors. And when you have strong instructors and happy instructors and connected instructors, you ripple that to the member.
Yes. And I think you're right. And it becomes part of their core, not their abs,
Mm.
but their actual core.
Yeah, a different
Where,
core.
who they are,
We're
yeah,
all
and who
working on the core here.
they are. So we, I'm really proud of what they do, and I don't want to say that in a condescending way, because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be able to deliver the classes that we do. Um, and I'm always shouting out, giving a shout out to them, because they are what drives the freedom effect. They are what keeps our members coming back, and they are what they have impacted our members just as much as me, right?
Mm.
So, Rita, I think you've come to one of my classes, right?
Yeah,
One
it's
or
a
two.
Thursday or a Tuesday lesson. I can't remember.
Yeah. So
That was
you
amazing.
you
It was
don't need
busy.
me. Yeah.
No.
But you don't need me to be
Mm.
in every class, because the freedom effect shines through all of them.
Yeah.
So for me, I was about empowering them to be able to go into their class, but do it their way. If
Yeah.
you've got 7 Julies, boring. If you
Yeah.
had if you had me for every class, boring, right?
Boring. Mm.
You want that spark, you want that seriousness, you want that joke, you want that
Yeah.
movement, you want, and if we didn't have that diversification, we would be one boring
Yeah.
place to come to.
It's
So,
like you want Nat's infectious personality as one, and then you want
yes,
Charlene's drive and
my
resilience in the
little, yeah,
activity, and then
my
Ash's
little, yeah,
amazing flexibility. That I'm like, how does she even do that? So it's like
yeah,
it's so
yeah,
nice to have pickpockets of every single instructor to find a spark in them that connects with you.
yes. And
Mm.
I'm in awe of them being able to also incorporate freedom in their lives. But
Yeah.
they're, at the end of the day, they're a member too, right?
Mm.
And I am sometimes too, right? So I want to come in and feel that inspirement, empowerment, um, that feeling of freedom, that transformation. I don't know about you, but when I walk in and I'm not having a good day, by the end of it, I'm like, I can actually get through this day now.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
mind is much more focused, it's much clearer. Um, and they do that in every class. So they're a member as well. They understand that feeling of belonging and that feeling of community. So why wouldn't they, you know, put that through, that essence through their classes as
Yeah.
well?
It's energy. It's all energy, right? It's all
Yeah,
energy.
yeah,
Now let's talk about balancing business, advocacy, and family. We all
yeah,
know that can be really demanding. How
yes.
has your experience as a mum, especially a special needs mum with your son who has autism,
Mhm.
influenced your approach with work and community?
Yes. So Billy was diagnosed with autism at quite early on. We started to notice things, maybe 2.5. So he started to regress with his speech. So seeing a pediatrician around the 3 mark, and just saying, there's some things that we're noticing here. Um, and I don't know, it was really difficult as well, because uh, sometimes your family or your
Yeah.
friends want to tell you the opposite of what you're experiencing. They want to say,
I
no,
call it
just
toxic
grow out of
positivity.
that. Sorry.
I call it toxic positivity.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. I need to write that
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. I hate that
And
because I
they
see every day, oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
Don't listen to her. She just
Yeah.
plays with your child. That's all she
Yeah.
does. Don't
And
worry about it. Your child will be fine.
yeah,
Mm.
and it actually took his the director of his childcare center actually read his report, and it said Billy prefers to play alone. Billy prefers to play alone. He's doing everything, but he's doing it alone.
Mm.
And you're like, hang on, I know what it's like to do something when I'm connecting with someone else, how much I get more fulfillment you get out of this. So
Yeah.
straight away, I mean, we've been talking about it for the last 40 minutes about how I love connecting. Straight away, it was like, this is a red flag. And I hate to say red flag because in some ways it Billy's diagnosis also taught me some other things in life and some
Yeah.
other lessons, resilience and patience and empathy, things that I probably already had within me, but I wasn't able. I didn't bring it to the surface because um, it was busy, 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 busy all the time. So
Mm.
um, it was in some ways it was good to step back and just go, okay, well, how do we deal with this now? And he was actually diagnosed not long after I'd had my daughter. So they're only 2 years apart. So you can imagine I've
So
got a
that.
newborn and
Mm.
I'm also or newborn under 12 months. And I'm also getting the news that Billy has got a lifelong diagnosis.
Yeah.
So, what
How
got
was
me
that?
through that? Oh, I was an instructor at the time, so I just returned
Yeah.
back to instructing. If I didn't instruct, if I hadn't kept moving, if I didn't have a class to go to, either instruct or attend as a member, I don't think I would have got through that in the way that I have. So his diagnosis it's not easy, and if anyone says, oh, it's the easy, that's good because I got an answer, it's like there's complexity to that diagnosis. It's so
Yeah.
multi-layered. There's so many different parts of you that become hyper vigilant. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
the way in which you parent is going to change, or the way in which you thought you were
Yeah.
going to parent is going to change. And the other thing is that my daughter, although 2 years younger, is like the older sister, right? She's
Yeah.
neurotypical. She's
You
got
did
sense
mention it.
issues,
Yeah.
that's for sure. We love that about her. But that, I, it's that whole thing of I'm watching mum and how she's, you know, parenting and working with Billy, and like we
Mm.
talked about, play based learning. And
Connection.
she does it automatically. It's so natural for
Yeah.
Bless. It's so natural for her to be that as well. But coming back to the diagnosis and also just management, like day to day management of Billy, and parenting of Billy, um, it's challenging, but it makes it so much. I'm not going to say easier, but I'm going to say it makes it so much more clearer. I can kind of keep my mind clearer and more optimistic by being in class and
Yeah.
coming
Okay.
to
I
class.
get that.
Yeah.
Do you find
And
it's because freedom also gives you a sense of purpose outside of parenthood as well, that you can really connect to yourself to make you a better version of yourself, to be a better mum and a better partner, and that brings it all back to the family?
yeah, it's so
Yeah.
funny because if I get cranky, and you're allowed to get cranky, right? It's normal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
my husband will say, you know what, I got this, you go to class.
Yeah.
He knows the benefits as well. Um, and we've got such a strong marriage because we get each other, and we
Mm.
know when to cover for each other as well. When there's that
Yeah.
exhaustion that's hitting, he's like, I got this. When he's got that exhaustion hitting, I got this.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's
we don't have
beautiful.
it, and we've got to ask
Mm.
our village to help as well.
Mm.
And I think that's really important that all your listeners out there, that you can't do it alone. And if you can do it in consultation with your therapist, that's very important, but find ways in which you can support your family by not just using who lives with you. I think that's
Yeah.
really, really important. And I've
And
had to advocate for that a lot, even for
yeah.
myself.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think one message is family isn't only specifically blood relatives. It could be the people that you have outside, like your members of the gym, the school mums. They are also part of your village. And I feel many families, special need parents, are quite frightened to ask for help. But the
Yeah.
minute we can create that safe space and sense of belonging, you just don't know what they're going to do for you. So ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
And when they offer help, please don't be afraid to take it,
yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
actually offering it. They're not offering it just to be a nice person. They're actually offering it to support you.
Yeah.
Um, so that's some learnings that I've had along the way as well.
Thank you for
And
sharing that. Thank
that's
you.
okay. That's okay.
Mm.
Yeah, there's complexities to it, but there's also you. I've been doing a lot of work. I think you've actually got a podcast coming up with Brain Hub. Um,
This
so
Friday.
Oh, great. So I've
Yeah.
been working with Brain Hub with Billy, and it's been an exhausting road.
Mm.
But the leaps he's made by
Yeah.
that dedication and that time commitment, which has meant that with that, I've had to ask for more support in other areas of my life. But you've seen some things come along, especially from a OT perspective and a
Yeah.
speech perspective, because like you mentioned before, we're finding out the core issues. We're finding out where
Yeah.
this is starting, so that we can
Mm.
build on it rather than kind of spack filling. We're kind of going to start here, find out what we need to focus on and how we can work with that, which
Build
is
up
what
on
we've been
that.
doing,
Yeah.
and then build on that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for the record, Billy, is he 13? How old's Billy?
He's 14.
Oh, 14. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're not in the early diagnosis stage, but it was so nice to hear you reflect on that experience and really talk with such still emotion, but growth, which I feel like many families that listen here, they're in that early initial phase, but
Oh,
knowing
yeah.
there is hope. You will get through those dark times. And here is a lived experience. She's found a place. She knows that exercise is her happy bubble. Yet she's still able to show up for her family and for herself too.
Rita, one thing that I did was, which I found super hard when he first got diagnosed, was my sister-in-law, who I'm very close to. She has a friend, still has a
Mm-hmm.
friend, who's a few years ahead of me,
Mm-hmm.
with her child, who's very similar to Billy in terms of autism diagnosis. And she got us together so
Yeah.
that so I could get advice from someone that's been there, that's had the lived experience. And so we still check in with each other, because we're able to say, where are you up to now? And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that in terms of, oh, is this what's going to happen to him? Because it's not going to be the same. But if I've got a problem, I'll say, what did you do with X? What did you do
Mm-hmm.
here? So using their lived experience for me to make a decision that's appropriate for Billy.
Yeah.
So if you've got someone that you know that's maybe a couple of years ahead of you, please be open to their advice. And they're not going to come at you and say, you should do this, you should do this. They're going to say, this is what worked for me.
Yeah. Give it a
Right.
shot, or what do you think, as
This is
opposed
what
to
worked.
you
Yeah.
shoulds. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is
Yeah.
what worked for me. This didn't work. It might work for you. I've heard it works here, but they're in it. We're in it together, right? So,
You've created the village.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it comes back down to connection, belonging, community in
it
every
does.
element
Always.
of your life, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so important. And what's
yeah.
that saying? If you're hanging around 5 millionaires, you'll become the sixth millionaire. That
That
your
would be
mindset in
great.
your community.
Yeah,
Maybe not millionaire, but like you get what I'm
yeah,
coming from.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I actually do a vision board myself every year.
Yeah, so important.
Um, yeah, and that really helps. I've actually got it here. So it's something
No,
that
show me.
I look at all the time.
Oh,
So it's
that's
just
awesome.
pictures, and then just a little summary as well around what I want to see. Now, freedom was one of them. I wanted a studio, one place where they could go. I wrote it on the back of an envelope and it's still on my fridge. It's still there.
Ah,
And I just wrote what I want. And out of all the boxes, the list that I wrote, let's say there's 10 points, I think I hit 7 of them. And this has happened over
wow.
3 years. So it is that mindset, it is that manifesting, which I thought was all whatever, but writing it down and seeing it all the time, because how many times a day do you go to the fridge, right? You do, you
Right.
go a
Yeah, yeah,
lot.
exactly
Get
right. Yeah,
water,
yeah, a lot.
get the kids' lunches, whatever it is. So it's always there. So
This
that,
is something that you might think is quite ambiguous, but one thing that I love about freedom are the stairs. Now, the reason for the stairs, I'm all about over analysis because the
yes.
stairs are firstly to symbolize you will need to climb in life, right? You're
Mhm.
going to have challenges, but step by step, you will get there. Yeah.
Yes.
But as also in one of your classes, Jules, you said, okay, this squat or this lunge is going to help you climb the stairs more frequently.
Yes.
So it's so important that the stairs symbolize what how you can build growth within yourself and how you can overcome challenges, which I love for you
For
for
sure.
freedom, because that's what empower a freedom effect is all about, right?
Yes.
Growth, empowerment, transition, all of those wonderful elements you discussed throughout the podcast. But the stairs for me every morning just symbolize that I can do this.
It's so
I
funny
know
because
it's silly,
yesterday
but
I was
that's what I
walking up
think.
and yeah, it's so great that you say that because yesterday I was walking up and everyone's like, "This is my pre-workout," and I'm like, "Yep, absolutely, it
No.
is your pre-workout." Um, but it's funny because Deborah, one of my members, she when she first started, she was hanging onto the side to walk up, and before class started one day, I was waiting for her to come up the stairs, and she was just walking up the middle, and I said, "Do you know that you've taken your hand away?"
Ah,
And she's like, I didn't even really notice. And I was like, look at
that's
you.
progress.
Yeah. Yeah. So the stairs, I suppose there's multiple
You're
meanings of
gonna
those.
look at the stairs tomorrow differently, aren't you?
Very much
Thanks,
so.
Rita,
Yes.
thanks. Now, Jules, looking ahead, any new exciting projects for freedom?
Yeah. So one thing that I'm probably getting my head around is that, I'm an educator and that
Mm.
at first I was like, me? And like
Mhm.
I love like that life coaching side of things. People feel really inspired when I speak to them, and I don't do that deliberately. I do it authentically.
Yeah.
And I've got my own life coach, and she'll say, "You need to be a life coach. You need to do it." So that would be kind of like a little future project for me. But in the meantime, for my members, I want more education sessions, particularly around perimenopause and menopause.
Yeah, I would love
Um,
that.
and, and
Mm.
I want to bring people in with lived experience as well. So I'm going to bring in someone very close to me that just um, has had a life event happen to them, and how maybe that life event could have been prevented by making a few changes in their life,
Mm.
which she has done now, but perhaps some more prevention work would have made a difference. And I think it'd be really inspiring for our members too, because they'd be like, "Well, I'm already doing this. This is great," because they are doing some health prevention work.
It's
We
like the funny thing of speech pathology, we talk about early intervention. You're
mhm,
doing early intervention
we are
for prevention. Yeah.
we are
So important we
absolutely
recognize that stage of our life.
and
Mm.
um, coordination and midline work, all those things. There's things that I've learned in OT that I lift and I put into a class as well. The other thing I want to do as well is I want to we partner with a charity called George's River Life Care, and every year
Mhm.
we do a walk. It's only 5 kilometres in Chipping Norton, but it just raises awareness around particularly. We've done walks before and it's gone to places which I love, like Beyond Blue or the Heart Foundation, which is great. But what I wanted to do was find something way more local, and
Yeah.
so that we're getting when our money is going to this charity, it's getting immediately put back into the community.
Community.
So Georges River Life Care is based in two places. One is Peakhurst and the other one is in Moorebank, to be
Oh.
northern. Yeah. So what they do is they work with women who are usually victims of domestic violence, and it might be um, physical violence, emotional violence, coercion, control. And they've left these situations, which is great. That's the first step and probably the hardest. But the next one is actually them understanding who they are
Yeah.
and how they're going to financially get stable. Understand things like, bank accounts and reading, understanding their legal responsibilities around you know, divorcing or
Mm.
moving forward in their life. And Georges River Life Care do more around that consulting so that they can become independent again and also get to know themselves again, so that they can, in what is a huge life event for them, they can change the trajectory of their life by education. And that
Mm.
education that Georges River Life Care provide to them is just amazing. So we work really closely with them, and Moorebank Sports Club and Liverpool City Council also work closely with them. So we're really excited about
I love that.
that being a yearly event. And we also do things like we haven't done it in our studio yet, but we do kind of um, like a drive where you guys just donate pads, tampons, menstrual cups, things that women need.
Tim Tams.
Yeah, Tim Tams, yes. So shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, things that women will need, but don't necessarily have the money to buy. So we often do those
Mm.
as well a couple of times a year. So we'll just
Yeah.
continue to support Georges River Life Care with that. And then lastly, we want to do member retreats. We want to take you out of your everyday, and we want to take you away, have education and movement sessions. So we're always excited about that. We had one about 2 years ago. Well, we did two in 1 year. I needed a break last year, but we intend to do more this year as well.
Yeah.
I just
Can
want women
can I
to
just say,
go ahead.
this conversation
Yeah,
has been absolutely beautiful. In my business, I always say connection creates communication as a
yeah,
speechie.
yeah.
But Jules, this whole conversation, you have just oozed the idea of connection and community and belonging in every element of your life, through freedom, being a special needs mum, your business, but then also bringing it back to the community that you're in, which I
Yes,
feel is very admirable.
yes.
And it's beautiful to witness. And as a young mum myself, I love witnessing this, and something for me to feel empowered to be as well. So
Brilliant.
thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank
Oh,
you for sharing your
you're
story.
so welcome. And thank you for having me. I'm just
Mm.
so, uh, like my life coach says, oh my God, you're brilliant. You're doing great things. And I'm like, really? Sometimes,
Yeah.
I just need to sit back and reflect on, um, the essence that you, or, what is oozing out of you is making it, is impacting others in the best way possible. And
Yeah.
that's all I'm after. That's all I'm after.
There's that quote I've heard, the reason sometimes why you're so hard on yourself is because you keep raising the bar
Oh,
of your
my instructors will say
or
that.
something like that. And it just makes sense because we're just like, yeah, what's next? What's next? But sometimes
Yes,
stop, think, wow, I
and
did that.
reflect.
And it's such a beautiful model for our kids to witness too.
For sure. My instructors are always like that. Jules, remember what you've done? Because I'm like, okay, what are we
Yeah.
doing? And they're like,
Yeah.
hey, let's keep moving for a bit. They're really good at doing that. So yeah,
Yeah, I
I
love
think
that.
that's my entrepreneurial side, I think. But sometimes sitting down and reflecting. Actually, I did this, which is my wins jar. So this is
Oh,
where
beautiful.
it's not many wins in there because I forget to put them in there. But as an entrepreneur, you tend not to you tend to win and just move on to the next win. So I
Yeah.
think it's really good that you capture it. So that's my little win
Yeah.
jar. for this.
Absolutely. And celebrate yourself always, always.
Yeah.
Now, Jules, just as we finish up, I have this question that I never tell anyone.
Yeah.
If you were to be a better version of yourself tomorrow, what word will you tell yourself today?
Um, Give yourself some compassion.
So compassion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be kinder to yourself. Don't judge yourself. Yeah, sit back and um, I suppose reflect on all the great things that you've done, um, but also give yourself a bit of compassion because it's not easy. Especially being a special needs mum, it's not easy. So
Mm.
um, yeah, that's probably my word.
Thanks, Jules. That's a gorgeous word. Thank you. Now, for everyone else, as I've said, I'm a lived experience. I'm a member of Freedom Fitness. Feel free to contact Jules. I'll put her details in the show notes and her hashtag of the business, oh, not hashtag, tag of the business throughout Instagram. It is so easily accessible in Liverpool. Is it Moorebank you would call? Would it be
Yeah, we're more
Moorebank
bang.
or
Yep, yep,
Moorebank? Yeah.
yep.
Not far from Westfield, an amazing centre, great classes, there's variety, and most importantly, a beautiful community. Now, Jules, thanks for coming on Wine with Weta. I appreciate our conversation. And everyone else, another conversation will be brought to your ears really soon. Take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Wine with Weta. I hope you found some new inspiration, learnt something new, or gained a fresh perspective. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd be so grateful if you please leave a 5-star review, as it really helps the show get in the ears of new listeners, plus it takes 5 seconds. If you're keen for more strategies and insights, then head over to Instagram and follow RS Speech Pathology.